Yeah, real quick. Alright, real quick, story time. I technically this is my second one, but I don't know. Um, so when I was maybe like in the fifth, like I think I was in the fifth or fourth grade. Like this may have happened before like 2020, before like that guy hit the fan, and it's kind of is judging by how like you know um the spots that are named after monkeys is starting to spread again. Generally, everything's going good in my life. Don't worry, nothing's wrong at all. So, story times. Story time. So, maybe I was in like the third, fifth, or fourth grade, like either one of those two grades. I was at a school that I really hated, and there was this one student there. You will probably hear a lot more stories about him after this. So, so like we had recess outside, and like usually our class would choose. Sometimes our class would choose like if they want to have recess indoors or outdoors. I always liked outdoors, so sometimes we had to do it indoors. A majority of the time we had to do it indoors. Outdoors, like I didn't mind if we did it indoors as long as everyone else was doing it indoors. But like when it was our class, when we did it indoors, like I was literally the only one out. Like wanted to go outside. I was the black sheep of the class. I'm sorry if you might not hear me. I'm just talking a little low, and also the fan. There's an AC where I'm at right now, so I'll try to talk a little bit louder. But this is my actual voice, and I'm just not actual voice like voice I usually use, but getting off topic, let's go back to the story. So, when I already said that. I'm sorry, I keep repeating myself because I'm thinking like am I rambling too much? But more importantly, like this time we were outdoors, and so that was great. And so we were so like there's this. So I'm gonna give you a layout. So there's two trailers in the recess. So like there's one like where like you go out and that's one of the first things you will immediately see. And in front of that trailer was this huge tree. And the second trailer was like a little ways away from it. Like maybe like 10 feet or 20 feet away from it. So maybe like 4 meters away from it. And so like the trailer that had the tree in front of it, like sometimes I'll go to the tree and I would see these seeds. Or I thought back then they were wood. So wood. So like I picked it up, like it felt harder than wood. So I felt the tree and I realized this is not wood. This does not feel like wood. This feels like something harder. And I immediately saw, oh my god, this is a seed. But like the description of the seed, if you need to, it had the coloring of wood, but there was like deep indents in it, and it was hard, and it had a point at the bottom. And on top of that, like it looked like there was pink. There was something pink on top of it, so like I was just picking up like it was wet. And I thought, oh, it must be because of like the tree sap. It might have been, or like rain, because like a few days earlier it rained. So like, and it had like little strings attached to it. That's what I thought back then. And so I like picked it out. I picked it out like for some reason I decided to put like the little strings in my mouth, and I realized, this actually tastes good. So I took the strings and eat it, and like didn't thought anything of it. Now this story is not going the direction that you think it is. I didn't get sick from it. I didn't get sick of it as long as like I am aware. So like I went back there a few days later, and I was like looking around the tree, and I found like a few more seeds. a few more seeds, and I collected them. A few more seeds turned into, like, over like the few months, that turned into like 20 seeds. And on, like, until like the end of the year where I had like I believe almost 50 seeds. Now I'll take them home and put them like in my toy bin. And yet again, all of them had the exact same description that they gave you from the first seed I ever found. It wasn't until like 2 years ago where I was telling my mom. I believe I told my mom the story. It might have been my dad, but I told maybe I told them both, but like I believe it was my mom. So like it wasn't until like 2 years ago. No, not 2 years ago. A year ago, when I told my mom the story, she said, "Those were not tree seeds. Those were peach seeds that you ate and that you were eating, and the strings attached to them. Yeah, those are like the little fibers. And you said it was wet." And I said, "Yeah, all of them were wet." She told me someone threw the seed by side there, and like I didn't think anything of it at the time. Like it made so much sense now. I was eating seeds that were eaten. So that is the first half of the video. The second half is the run-in with the infamous kid I'll call SpongeBob, because he really liked SpongeBob. So if you need a description for him, he was obviously he was almost about the same size as me, because obviously this happened like in the 3rd grade. So like the first time I came across him, everyone knew, like the first day, like he came and told everyone in a voice, "I'm the only one that can like SpongeBob in this class, and none of you else." And so like everyone knew that. So like everyone knew like immediately, like when you say something dumb like that, you're obviously gonna get trolled on. So everyone was saying, blah, 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 blah. Corey, I hate SpongeBob, and all that little giggly kid stuff. And so like everyone like Corey knew that I like Godzilla. And so I was there. So like I was there, like sometimes when we get into an argument, he told me Godzilla is dumb. But he said the more adultish phrase. The one that starts with an S and ends with an id. So I'm not sure if I'm allowed to even say it on this website. So maybe once I get like older, maybe I'll say the entire phrase if I retell the story again. So like he would sometimes say Godzilla is dumb, and I would say back, well, SpongeBob is, and Yowzi is. If you know Yowzi or Yowzi, like you know, like that little orange square cat thing that has like the long pink friend, the long pink girlfriend, and like the purple bear with the glasses, who I believe was the smart one. I used to actually watch that kid. I usually actually watch that show as a kid. And so I told him that, and he got really mad. So he told me, "I'll get you back for this." And so I didn't believe him, because usually nobody wants to get in a fight. But so what ended up happening was it was music class. Like the music class took place in our regular class. Like the 2 people would come in and they were like tell us music. In fact, they gave us a flute, and they said, "Oh, take these flutes home, but you always have to bring them back." So I did. And the funny story about the flute is that I remember I was playing with it going. That's my interpretation of a flute. So what I ended up doing a little bit after is that like when's that cast happened, like Corey got into an argument with this other kid about like SpongeBob again. And so I said, "Hey, can you stop just saying you're the only one that can like this stuff?" And he said, Well, are you? Well, I would later find out that this thing is called gatekeeping. I would later like remember, like as I'm recording this video, like I realized that this kid was gatekeeping Yowzi and SpongeBob. And so I told him, well, well, SpongeBob is dumb. And so, I told him SpongeBob is dumb and Yao Hai is dumb. And so, like, I got up and I was like walking to go get water because I actually music teacher, hey, can I get water? Corey leaped out of his seat and ran towards me and pinned me to the ground. Luckily, where we were at, there was a carpet there, so it conditioned my fall, and he was punching me. So I punched him back and even clawed at him and scratched him. And I slapped him a bit. I remember I slapped him so hard that you can hear it from across the classroom. And that's surprising coming from someone who has literally like nothing but like bone and flesh on his arm. Like maybe some fat there, but like only in the upper right of the arm. So that was surprising coming from me. So yeah, but like the teachers came up and like you know like how cartoon characters would like when they're in a fight with someone would pick them up, like they're obviously still like trying to like obviously give another kid a concussion. Yeah, that happened, but like I like a second later I realized that this fight was dumb, and like I stopped, but this kid kept coming at me. He kept coming at me like basically going like come over here, bro. Come over here, bro. Be like a man. And I will inform you guys right now. Back then and now, I do not consider myself a man. I consider myself a man-child. Even though I know, like, I'm literally, like, a full teen now. I'd, like, at heart, we are still kids. And so that's it. I'll see you later.